Frontal. I am Samantha B. Guys, we have never seen anything like this election. A race between a barely contained cluster of frustration, a human Upworthy post, the world's only unlikable Canadian, a puppet who finally became a real boy, and of course, a tangerine-tinted trash can fire.
I think it's going to be the most important election that we've had in modern times. Our country is going to hell.
Yeah, one sure sign it's going to hell is that you're the front runner. And you're old enough to know that presidential elections are like children. They're all the most important.
This election is the most important election in a generation.
The most important election in the history of our country.
The most important election.
Most important election.
The most important election in the last century and a half.
Listen to Charlton Heston, you guys. He's seen where this country is heading.
You maniac! You blew it up!
Oh, it's coming. But actually, the most important election in modern times already happened.
Barack Obama is projected to be the next president of the United States of America.
No, wrong answer. Calm your smug tits, Democrats. The most important election of your lifetime wasn't 2008. It was 2 whole years later, and you didn't vote in it, and you got your ass kicked. The year was 2010. Kesha's brave cry for help was at the top of the dance charts. The man-made disaster spewing toxic foulness wasn't Donald Trump, but Deepwater Horizon, and oh yeah, there was an election. Just one of those boring midterm ones that will.i.am does not make videos about. And just like with our college midterms, most of America figured it was fine to sleep through this one.
Exit polls showed a low turnout of young voters, African American and other minorities.
Youth turnout has averaged 12% in midterms.
Oh my God, 12%? Were you so busy planking and cinnamon challenging in your smush rooms while inserting vodka-soaked tampons into your jeggings that you couldn't set aside a few minutes to pull a voting lever? Gee, you know who didn't sit 2010 out? People who were old and white and super cranky about something.
There is a big enthusiasm gap. This year, we saw the greatest number of conservatives turn out to vote in a midterm election since exit polling began.
I'm sure they were just angry about how tall the president is. And just as you'd expect when the voting public looks like the cast of Cocoon, they turned this country redder than Carrie's prom dress. 2010 swept 87 Republican freshmen into the Capitol, including a host of ill-qualified and temperamentally unfit newbies like Benghazi Queen Trey Gowdy and grown adult Michael Graham of Staten Island, best known for threatening to murder a reporter.
Let me be clear to you. You have to do that to me again in 3 years.
Funny story, he's in jail now. Not for assault, but tax evasion, but still, good guy, good guy. They got elected with commercials like this.
After the Muslims conquered Jerusalem and Cordoba and Constantinople, they built victory mosques.
Oh, man. Remember when we were scared to death of mosques and not Syrian children? I feel so old. 2010 also brought us a big chunk of the House Freedom Caucus, the wild-eyed Tea Party kamikazes who handed John Boehner the Speaker's gavel and then immediately started eating him alive. Although I can see why. He is packed with beta-carotene. The Republicans of the 112th Congress arrived on Capitol Hill ready to roll up their sleeves and then immediately roll them back down.
I'm not going to vote to increase the national debt limit.
We need more people who will say no.
I don't like to compromise.
I am not going to compromise on my principles.
There'll be no compromise.
Man, do they ever hate the C word. Speaking of C words, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, not even coy about his party's mission to block the cock of democracy.
Our top political priority over the next 2 years should be to deny President Obama a second term.
You couldn't even get that done, but congratulations. You did manage to make yourselves less popular than genital warts. Some people like them. They're like sexy Braille. Meanwhile, here's what the conservative children's crusade has achieved since it turned the House into a who can hold their breath the longest, I know you are, but what am I, why are you hitting yourself contest in the backseat of a car that no grown-up was driving. They shut down the government. They somehow turned 60 failed attempts at taking away people's health insurance into a badge of honor and refused to vote on immigration reform, leaving Americans so frustrated they're willing to vote for the first two-bit wall salesman who says he'll stop Mexicans from raping their jobs. That's right. If you didn't vote in 2010, you built that. But oh my God, that is nothing compared to what happened in the States after moderates and progressives hit the snooze button in 2010. While the new Congress was putting a banana in the tailpipe of our democracy, the newly elected state lawmakers and governors did the opposite, unclenching their legislative sphincters and passing every shitty idea from deep within their bowels. Bankrupting school systems, redrawing congressional districts, and doing everything short of bronzing pregnant women to block access to abortions. All the things that directly affect your life 1,000,000 times more than the presidency. But we'll get into that next week. Meanwhile, be sure to vote on Super Tuesday, unless the state senator you failed to stop in 2010 cock-blocked you with a voter ID law. Oh, there he is, doing what he does best.